I'm trying not to lose my mind, so we're going to have a little bit of fun. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there has been a civil war brewing on the right. There is a civil war brewing on the right. Now, it is between what I would call actual isolationist American first, populists and the institutional Republican Party that is a servant of AIPAC. Ed Shapiro is one of those guys. He's always really been not fully embraced by the populist right. And then we have Candace Owens. And Candace Owens has basically been saying Israel is committing war crimes. Israel is in the wrong. And it has resulted in a massive civil war at the Daily Wire. Candace Owens may get fired.
The sort of Republican on Republican action, the conservative on conservative action. Things are not going well at Daily Wire right now.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, we have a company here. There's a lot of times where like personal stuff comes up at the commissary. There's been occasions, I'm not going to lie, I've seen, Matt will cut me off. He'll get the last pudding or something. I'll give him a little shove in the kidney. He comes after me. You're pathetic. Why'd you do that? And then we get into a little scuffle, but we try and
That's what we pay the security for.
That's what we have the security for. But at the Daily Wire, I think there's going to be some conflict going on. Here,
George Santos to use campaign funds to pay for OnlyFans, Botox, and Sephora. He is really a man of the people. He really is a man of the people. We're going to talk about that next.
Cold War.
Here is Ben Shapiro. Yesterday. Was this yesterday? Yeah, it was released yesterday. Or this was released yesterday. We don't know when it was. Ben Shapiro. It's worth it just to see the white sport jacket that he's wearing.
He's standing up on like a table or something.
Yeah. He's at some, God knows what this event is. I can only imagine.
But he's talking about Candace Owens, who's been tweeting against Israel.
Yes. And what a surprise. I mean, Candace Owens has really gone to bat for, here's Ben Shapiro, and then we'll pick it up from there.
Yes, the question is about Candace Owens. I think her behavior during this is disgraceful. I think she's been absolutely disgraceful. I think that her faux sophistication on these particular issues has been ridiculous. It's not faux sophistication, it's ridiculous. Everybody can see the moves that she's making and the things that she's saying, and I find it disreputable.
Her faux sophistication on these issues.
Yeah.
It's funny how she just has faux sophistication on this one issue.
Right.
As opposed to the faux sophistication on everything else.
Yeah.
I wish I wasn't so distracted by his white sport coat, but
he's a Hollywood guy.
I can only imagine how horrible that whatever that event was he was at. But it's interesting. And here is Candace Owens responding. Somebody better get over there. Maybe Crowder can.
This isn't responding to Ben Shapiro. This is what Ben Shapiro was responding to.
Okay, this is what Ben Shapiro was responding to. Okay. Here it is.
And she's also been tweeting a lot, right?
Oh, yeah. Then let's look at some of those tweets. I sent you a compendium of tweets. But here is Candace Owens. This is what she's been. Now, was this before or after?
Shapiro. This is before Shapiro.
Okay, this is before Shapiro. I didn't realize.
This is the sort of thing that he's upset about.
Yeah, this is what he's upset about.
What's happening here in America, and we could look back on my past commentary because I have predicted this was going to happen. I have predicted that pro-Israel causes were going to legitimately lose support over the years. My predictions began, of course, when it first happened to me. Now, in America, we kind of had this idea, and it wasn't exactly wrong, that
Pause it for 1 second. Wait a second. So she's saying, I knew that the support for pro-Israel would start to diminish because there are people who are starting to say, and I think the American public is now like, wants a ceasefire. Mm-hmm. And she's saying that she also was bombed Is that what she's saying?
Well, bombed in the sense that like she well, maybe we should let her.
Okay,
yeah.
so not literally bombed, but was attacked by Israel in this way.
Well, not Israel.
Well, that's
per
what
se.
she's saying. That's what it sounds like she's saying, but we're going to understand that her understanding of what Israel is a little bit different than normal people's.
You're right. I forgot. Like, there have been a
Israel has just made an announcement. The search of Israeli forces of Gaza's largest hospital stretched into its second day Thursday amid the wait for more concrete evidence of extensive Hamas infrastructure at the facility that precipitated the raid. Israel also said no further evidence of Hamas activities in the hospital was scheduled to be made public for now, following the release Wednesday of photographs and videos showing small caches of rifles and laptops that the Israeli Defense Forces identified as Hamas material. Military did not show evidence of tunnels or a command center it had said exists under the hospital. I can confirm now that the operation is still ongoing. An Israeli Defense Force spokesman said Thursday all publishable evidence was released. We need international criminal court action today. They found nothing. They lied. They went after this hospital because this is where the bodies of children were being brought. This is where bodies of children were being counted. This is where the genocide was being observed. And that was true. They had to stop that. They had to cover it up. No human shields, no rockets, no Hamas infrastructure. It was all a fucking lie. And Joe Biden repeated that lie last night.
a lot of like people centering themselves as opposed to people in Gaza here in the United States about how fearful they are and how really the genocide in Gaza really affects them. But I didn't realize she is a Karen too, but that she's doing it in the reverse. That's what's fun about this.
He kind of had this idea, and it wasn't exactly wrong, that Richard Spencer was an anti-Semite. That's where we began in discussion about what is and what is not anti-Semitism.
Sure.
We also had people saying that Nick Fuentes was an anti-Semite. This was agreed with across the board. He was banned from virtually every platform because he was discussing Holocaust numbers, and there are clips of him that have circulated essentially saying that he doesn't believe that the amount of Jews that died in the Holocaust is actually factual, right?
Can you actually pause it? Sorry.
But then something.
So Nick Fuentes went on Tim Pool's program with Kanye West, right?
Who Candace Owens knows.
Who Candace Owens knows. And then after or before that appearance, or was it when Fuentes also went on with Kanye on Alex Jones' show when she defended Kanye West? Yeah. Which time? Because now she's saying everyone deplatformed Fuentes, but she was defending the guy that was basically holding Fuentes' hand and going on and saying anti-Semitic stuff on all of these other platforms.
And to summarize, she's basically accepting that, yeah, we should kick this guy off platforms because of what he's basically denying the Holocaust. And look, continue.
Yeah.
All he was doing was giving facts and figures. Go ahead.
Died in the Holocaust is actually factual, right? But then something started to change, and people that were explicitly pro-Israel started being accused of being anti-Semitic. I mean, I could just give you my own circumstance, obviously. Notoriously, the clip that circulated of me talking about Adolf Hitler, about whether or not he is properly considered to be a nationalist. I don't believe he is. I don't believe he ever was a nationalist.
She's saying that Adolf Hitler, whose entire theory was that the German people, the nation of Germanness, was the superior race, it should dominate, was not a nationalist. What was she trying to, what was he then? What was he then if he wasn't a nationalist? This is fascinating. Deutschland über alles, ja. Mikado, thank you for the tier 1.
Summarize
this,
there. What
yeah.
she said was that he should have kept it to Germany, and the problem was that and just made Germany great again. And the problem was he
Expanded outwards.
beyond borders. So
Yeah. Like he was
nothing to do with
imperialist.
Israel, really. But anyway.
Because he had ideas to expand outside of Germany, was then doctored and used to suggest that I was an anti-Semite, despite the fact that I had been working for Turning Point USA at the time, a remarkably pro-Israel student organization that was marching across college campuses, was hosting Jewish events, pro-Israel events. Obviously, we'll get into it later, but also sending 300 kids a year to Israel. And at that time, I had just come back from Jerusalem to watch the embassy be minted during Trump's administration. So it's very bizarre. And after going through it and seeing that people that I had defended for years were so quick to say, you are not allowed to even talk about nationalism and Adolf Hitler, somehow that could be construed as anti-Semitism, and none of the voices that I had given my voice to were defending me, didn't feel good, didn't like it at all. You know, does it make you quick to want to defend people that are not going to return the favor when the time comes? And we've seen this phenomenon, I've covered it on this show, hoax after hoax.
God, she's such a fucking narcissist. She's such a piece of garbage. By the way, I just tweeted, looks like the IDF was lying about the Hamas Pentagon underneath Gaza's largest hospital. This was their justification for carpet bombing civilian buildings because they were, quote, being used by Hamas. The evidence of genocide is absolutely clear. Absolutely disgusting.
Pause it for 1 second. I mean, I think this might be a little bit difficult for people to follow. And I just want to make it clear. She is saying that she proved her pro-Israel bona fides over and over and over again. And then all of a sudden, she starts saying, you know, sympathetic things about Hitler. And all of a sudden, people are like questioning whether she's anti-Semitic. Now, it is, I think, and I don't think we should blow past this. It is very possible that she is so ignorant that she does not realize that you can be pro-Israel and anti-Semitic. In fact, one of those guys was featured at the pro-Israel war rally yesterday. Reverend Hagee, again, the guy who was too anti-Semitic for John McCain in his 2008 presidential campaign. She is just blown away by this concept. Now, it's also possible that she's just an anti-Semite and is trying to hide behind her support of Israel, where all the Jews got to go to bring about the second Messiah or the return of the Messiah or whatever it is.
Or maybe a little column A, a little column B.
And it could be a little column A, column B. And she's just mad that people aren't defending her. And but
she's got another example. Let's see if it's her reading of like the British or the Israeli new historians.
Or does it have anything to do with the death toll in Gaza, or is it more about her?
Well, we'll find out.
We've seen this phenomenon, I've covered it on this show, hoax after hoax of individuals that are being accused of anti-Semitism who have not explicitly said anything against Jewish people.
Explicitly.
I think one of the biggest circumstances arrived just a few months ago with Kyrie Irving. Remember Kyrie Irving, the basketball player? He is.
Oh, she's just legitimately an anti-Semite. Wow. So we have the genocidal Israeli Ben Shapiro and the anti-Semite. What a complete dumbass. Any mod here? I want to run something by you before I ask the chat. You should probably just ask a Discord, not Twitch chat.
tremendously popular. He is known to be a very good person, and he shared a documentary link, and it went viral. I've never seen people so incensed. The documentary was freely available to any person on Amazon to watch. Amazon was not in any trouble for selling the documentary for people to watch, and yet Kyrie Irving tweeting out a link to this documentary. Anyways, the documentary was entitled Hebrews to Negroes, and he shared it on his Twitter feed, and what followed was essentially a firestorm. Even though he shared it without any commentary, for all I know, he watched it and thought the same thing that I thought when I finally got around to watching it. It looked like a PowerPoint. It was very poorly done, and it was very hard to follow.
We don't need to get too much into that. I just will say there is one section of that movie which includes a number of myths, lies about Jewish people, including number 3, which is that 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust during World War III. So she basically said the Fuentes thing about Holocaust denial was worthy of getting him off platforms, but this video also contained that exact same idea.
Yeah, but it was low production value, Matt.
And she was confused when she saw it.
It was called Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, and it's about how the real Jews are black people, not Jews. Right? I mean, so that's the summary.
It's a bit
of that
confusing.
book.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what I guess made Ben Shapiro upset and why he gave that video. And then here's her tweets after. Right? Do we have that? Okay. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Ah, yes. She's being persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Just sharing a
For
confusing
theirs
documentary.
is the kingdom of heaven.
This is more about her, I guess.
Blessed are ye. She, I think, is
Yay?
showing.
Blessed are ye. That's what they call Kanye.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, blessed.
Did she actually mean
I
to
think-
do
I
that?
think it's a coincidence.
No, but it is funny. Yeah.
I mean, I think like she deserves points for not saying "Blessed are me."
Yeah.
When men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake, no one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money.
She's gonna go full anti-Semite.
Christ is king. She said next.
What's the black guy who does the sports who's also anti-Semite now? That Crowder had on and thought he.
Oh, Jason Whitlaw?
Yeah, he's
anti-Semitic too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he's one of
She's
the.
gonna follow that I think.
Yeah. So
But now, if she can't serve both God and money, is this her? Is she resigning from Daily Wire?
Well,
What's
it's
going on
interesting.
there?
Like, there's a number of times, and she's like, when she's talking about the Kanye thing back in the day, she's like, a lot of people are telling me don't sell out to Ben Shapiro and Dennis Prager.
well, what does that mean? Oh, and the globalists. Just
Right, exactly. And so I just want to. This kind of brings
Where
us
is she gonna go?
Crowder, maybe? No, she can't go to Crowder.
She can't go to Crowder. They
That
had a
bridge
big
is
falling
burned
out.
too.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I do want to just play this though, because this is from. There's another clip that's going viral on TikTok where she she even mentioned the clip that we played. That look at what I've predicted about this topic, and she said like actually even about 4 years ago I started feeling like these accusations of anti-Semitism were getting a little bit cynical. I just want to play this clip from 2019. This is from a video that she put, and let's see, let me zoom out a little bit here. This is her covering this topic in, 2019.
Some pretty crazy stuff is going on right now, and I think that we need to discuss it. I actually had tried to flag this for everybody. I think it was 2 weeks ago, maybe 1 week ago, when Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez locked arms, figuratively speaking, had a public love fest with Jeremy Corbyn. And I started freaking out. I'm like, guys, this is not okay. Jeremy Corbyn is an on-record, open anti-Semitic leader.
No.
I think, I'm going to say something that's very self-aggrandizing, but I just got to say it. Are we the only people, this community, that can change based on evidence? Like, are we the only people in the world that can take in new information and then change? Because I learned something very important in the Jeremy Corbyn election, that liberals will call you an anti-Semite to destroy you and that you cannot trust them. It seems to me that no one else learned that lesson. It seems basically Jeremy Corbyn, the closest personality to Jeremy Corbyn that exists is Mr. fucking Rogers. This man basically doesn't have an angry bone in his goddamn body. And yet here we are. Same shit is happening again. I think the main issue we have in America is that people on the left fundamentally don't have skin in the game. They are going to let the dirty sons of bitches win. They're going to let them rat fuck us.
In the UK, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is talking about the fact that they had a wide-reaching conversation and that she was looking forward to working with him. And I tweeted about it because I'm seeing this trend of open anti-Semitism and open racism that is coming from the left. So people in America who follow me need to pay attention to what just happened today in the UK. Jeremy Corbyn is pretty much what happens if Ilhan Omar and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez became one person. Openly racist, open anti-Semitic, but he's leading the Labour Party. The Labour Party, for those of you that don't know, is the equivalent to the Democrats over in the UK. So the Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn is leading it. Today, 7 people from his own party resigned because they can no longer accept that their party has become so anti-Semitic and so racist. And this is huge. So people on the left in America, the Democrats, have just openly embraced an anti-Semite, somebody that is so anti-Semitic and so racist that 7 members of his own party resigned. Okay? That would be the equivalent of if Cory Booker, Nancy Pelosi, some people that have been in the Democrat Party for 50 years even, because I think one of the members had actually been a member of the party for decades, decided to resign because they no longer understood the radicalization of their own party. This is exactly what is happening in America right now. We talk about Ilhan Omar, who is just openly anti-Semitic, and I will give kudos where kudos is due to Nancy Pelosi for demanding that she issue an apology, but her apology was half-hearted, and she's still a member of the party. She's still a member of Congress, which to me is unacceptable. When people are openly expressing hate, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez openly expressed hostility towards Israel in that interview that we all saw where she said that they were occupying Palestine and
Yeah. Well, so she
Just a note on those 7 lawmakers. They left the Labour Party for a couple of reasons. One, because
they went and joined what was called the Cuck Party. Literally. The Cuck Party. CUC. They had to change their name and logo because everybody was like, what? This is the Cuck Party. And they were like, what? Or was CUK or something like that? Yeah, CUK. Yeah. The Cuck Party. Everybody was like, They were centrist Labour Party, alt-centrist, basically radical centrist in the Labour Party, and they left. The Cuck Party. I think didn't they all lose their election?
Basically the definition of anti-Semitism that is being passed and accepted to by UK politics is that criticism of Israel is anti-Semitic in itself. Also, oh crap, what was the other point I wanted to make about that? I don't know. Go ahead, Emma.
But I don't know. But basically, she is the voice that is, in terms of criticism of Israel, that you should definitely not be listening to because she holds pretty deeply anti-Semitic views and has no idea what she's talking about. So.
They also said, in addition to him being anti-Semitic, they didn't like his policy on Brexit. And I'll just say, if you think somebody is anti-Semitic, it's probably a bit redundant to then say, also, we disagree with his trade policy. But,
Yeah, I mean, to borrow from Barnaby Rain, like the people who were saying he was anti-Semitic most in the UK were people with, Union Jack tattoos saying Jeremy Corbyn hates immigrants and also he's an anti-Semite, and that's why or loves immigrants and is also an anti-Semite, and that's why I can't support him. Just to show how cynically that's being deployed.
Onion Breath also raises up the issue that, meanwhile, in America, dozens of Republicans have resigned in the last few years due to the radicalization of their party. I mean,
yeah,
they come up every day. Conway was one of the guys, right? I mean, we came up in the legal interview.
That was a lot less fun than I thought it was going to be.